Hey! Hi! How you doing? This is the Gamertron, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. So, you're boycotting Blizzard because it turns out they're a bunch of Chinese communist-loving shills who care more about China money than freedom of speech and just actual freedom in general. If you're participating in the boycott, first of all, good on you, you're doing the right thing. And second, I have something special for you. You see, I wanted to do something different than what everyone else on YouTube is doing right now and just going over the news and regurgitating the same information about Blizzard, Blitzchung, Hong Kong, and instead find a way to do some good out of all this, put a positive spin on this whole thing. And so the thought occurred to me that if you're boycotting Blizzard games, particularly if you're a hardcore fan who mainly played Blizzard games, you must still have an urge to play games similar to Blizzard games. And don't worry, I got you covered with the top 5 games you should play to satisfy your urge for Blizzard games while you're boycotting Blizzard. So what I wanted to look for were games similar enough but also had unique spins and twists and innovations on the genres of Blizzard's most popular games. Also add in a few lesser known or less popular games in there that you may want to help support. Basically, these are video games I recommend to help fill the void of no longer playing Blizzard games like World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Diablo, StarCraft, Warcraft, Heroes of the Storm. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a substitute for Hearthstone because I don't play card games, so sorry about that. But now, without further ado, I present to you the top 5 video games to play to satisfy your urge to play Blizzard games while you're boycotting Blizzard. Liberate Hong Kong! Revolution of our time. Am I right, everybody? At number 5, we have our replacement, or should I say, replacements, for Overwatch. Okay, so there's technically more than 5 games on this list, so I'm technically cheating, but it's my list, I can do whatever I want, and besides, top 5 just sounds catchier than top 8, so here we go. Now, the most immediate and obvious replacement for Overwatch would be Paladins. Join over 25 million players in Paladins, the free-to-play fantasy team-based shooter sensation. Wield guns and magic as a legendary champion of the realm, customizing your core set of abilities to play exactly how you want to play. Of course, Paladins is a free-to-play game. Anything that affects gameplay can be unlocked simply by playing with cosmetic items available for purchase. One aspect of Paladins that I think Overwatch players will find very interesting is Paladins' deck building system. With it, you can become a iron sight sniper, a grenade slinging explosive expert, or a track star with an assault rifle, all as the same champion. Choose from dozens of cards to customize your abilities and make each champion your own. Now, I have personally played Paladins, I highly recommend it, I greatly enjoy it. Honestly, there's no reason to not at least try the game since it's free to play, but there is another option. Another free-to-play, well, sorta, MOBA-like hero shooter. Some of you might all remember this game as it launched the same year in the same month as Overwatch. Yes, I'm talking about Battleborn. Battleborn has a free-to-play option where you can play the entirety of the PvP multiplayer and unlock all the playable hero characters for free. You can level up, make progress, unlock skins and gear, all for free. There is the pay-to-play version that comes with the single-player and co-op story campaign, which I personally do recommend picking up and playing. But whether you decide to pick up the whole package, or just participate in the free-to-play PvP, you're still getting a nice, long, meaty chunk of content to play through. And yes, that was a sexual innuendo. For those of you unaware or have somehow never heard of Battleborn, well, here's the sales pitch. A tremendous band of badass heroes fight to protect the universe's very last star from a mysterious evil in this hero shooter from the creators of Borderlands. To defend it, you'll need to utilize every type of character and weapon you've ever imagined, from cyborg hawkmen to samurai vampires to minigun-wielding man-mountains. Slash and parry, run and gun, cast and dash, or simply obliterate foes while all building and growing your own personal team of heroes. Choose your hero and fight alone or cooperatively alongside friends in story missions, or battle against them in fast-paced competitive multiplayer matches. Now, full disclosure here, I've always personally found that Battleborn was the superior game since day one in comparison to Overwatch. So now that we're all boycotting Blizzard and none of you are playing Overwatch anymore, maybe it's time to give Battleborn a fair chance, eh? So Paladins and Battleborn, those are my recommendations to replace Overwatch while you're boycotting Blizzard. Now, at number 4, we need to find a replacement for Heroes of the Storm. And this one was a bit tricky because when it comes to MOBAs, you already know I could easily just recommend League of Legends and Dota. But that's too obvious, and if you were playing Heroes of the Storm over League and over Dota, then that's probably because you preferred Heroes over League and Dota. So for this pick, I wanted to find some MOBAs that were unique and underrated. A different spin on the MOBA genre that might quench your thirst for a unique MOBA that isn't League or Dota. It may not be Heroes of the Storm, but these are still two highly praised games with very positive reception, starting with Battlerite. Battlerite is a PvP arena brawler and the spiritual successor to the critically acclaimed Bloodline Champions. Experience the unique combination of top-down shooter meeting a fast-paced fighting game and take part in highly competitive, adrenaline-fueled 2v2 and 3v3 battles. Engage in quick and intense action as you take control over one of many champions, each with unique abilities to master. Welcome to a world where champions dedicate their lives to the arena. Battlerite is also a very easy game to recommend to pick up and play because, of course, it is free to play. No excuse to not give it a try. And what do you know, the next game I'm recommending is also free to play. Now this game strays much further from the traditional MOBA and is more of an action RTS, but make no mistake, there are heavy MOBA influences in this game. I am speaking of course about Air Mech Strike. Air Mech Strike is a fast-paced action RTS game that can be played online competitively or cooperatively. Earn kudos and experience in battle and unlock a wide collection of air mechs and units while you practice the perfect strategy to emerge victorious. The key features include an action RTS transformed, Dota-style gameplay with transforming robots, each with their own unique stats and abilities. Fast-paced action and shorter game lengths keep the battle intense. You can customize your army, choose your air mech and your units to take into battle and help your team claim victory. Also unlock custom variant air mechs, skins, to have a unique look in-game. Also, I think it's worth noting that the game features control options. It supports both mouse and keyboard and Xbox 360 gamepad. Controls can also be completely customized for personal preference. So yeah, instead of recommending the obvious choices of League of Legends and Dota 2, I say check out these unique and underrated MOBA-like games with Battlerite and Air Mech Strike. Hopefully these games will satisfy that craving for Heroes of the Storm while we're boycotting Blizzard. Now, at number 3, this was also a really tricky one to pick games for because it's replacements for StarCraft and Warcraft, and StarCraft and Warcraft are like the kings, the definitive real-time strategy games. These are the games you think of when you think real-time strategy alongside Command and Conquer and other such genre-defining titles. Since StarCraft and Warcraft are such juggernauts, it's hard to find replacements for them, but I hope these picks will do. Starting off with our stand-in for StarCraft players, we have Grey Goo. Fight for control of a frontier world, gather resources, build your base, and command your forces in battle. Survive long enough to unleash your ultimate weapon, the Epic. Drawn to a remote world, intelligent life forms fight for control of its resources. Here, they must each answer the primal choice of life, extinction or evolution. Grey Goo is a real-time strategy game that combines classic strategy mechanics and a balanced combat system with an emphasis on base building. It puts you at the center of a tactical struggle for survival, and ultimately control of Ecosystem 9. Take on the single-player campaign to command three factions: the Humans, masters of defensive architecture; the Beta, a proud versatile alien race; and the Goo, an enigmatic highly mobile life form. Or compete with any of the four multiplayer factions, including the disruptive, unpredictable Shroud. A really nice bonus that the game possesses is a map editor. You can use the map editor to create your own battlefields and share them with the community via the Steam Workshop. Full disclosure, I really like Grey Goo. It was one of my top 10 favorite games of 2015. Now that we're all boycotting Blizzard and no longer playing StarCraft anymore, maybe now is the time to go back into the past, pick this game up, give it a shot, and give Grey Goo, this ambitious and underrated real-time strategy game, the chance it deserved. Now, for you Warcraft players out there, I've got a more recent RTS that came out this year that might pique your interest. It's called War Party. War Party is a strategy game where you enter a prehistoric world of dinosaurs, cavemen, and magic. Build up your chosen faction, gather resources, explore the land, and command them against enemy tribes and wildlife. Will your story be about life, death, or balance? Can you survive? The game contains 3 unique factions. Play as the proud Wildlanders, the menacing Necromas, or the vengeful Vifra, each with unique units, buildings, talents, and playstyle. The game contains such modes and features as a story campaign, a survival mode where you face off against ever-increasing waves of enemies, skirmish against AI, custom online multiplayer, an observer mode, basically spectator mode, ranked multiplayer and leaderboards, and ranked multiplayer comes with dedicated servers. The game also contains a very helpful in-game wiki, where you can study up on all the units at your own leisure. War Party is honestly just an overall solid RTS. It's got its own few unique little elements that help it stand on its own, but for the most part it stays true to the classic real-time strategy formula that many of you may have grown accustomed to and adore from Warcraft. So yeah, Grey Goo and War Party. For those of you still craving more real-time strategy, especially now that you're not going to be playing StarCraft or Warcraft anymore because, you know, Blizzard boycott. Now, at number 2, I needed to find a replacement for Diablo. And that was surprisingly easy. Path of Exile. Just go play Path of Exile. If you love Diablo, you should already know about Path of Exile. If you love Diablo and you somehow don't know about Path of Exile, well, what the hell, man? Sales pitch. You are an exile struggling to survive on the dark continent of Warclast? I have no idea how to pronounce that. As you fight to earn power that will allow you to exact your revenge against those who wronged you. Created by hardcore gamers, Path of Exile is an online action RPG set in a dark fantasy world. With a focus on visceral action combat, powerful items, and deep character customization, Path of Exile is completely free and will never be pay to win. Path of Exile is free to play. If you love Diablo, hack and slash looters, deep character builds and customization, and wiping out hordes of enemies with flashy special effects, just play Path of Exile. Just play Path of Exile! If you're a Diablo fan, boycotting Blizzard and Diablo is super easy for you because you have Path of Exile. It is the perfect substitute. Just play Path of Exile. It's really that simple. And finally, we come to number 1. At number 1, I needed to find a replacement for World of Warcraft. Now, for the past almost 2 decades, many MMOs have come and gone and been proclaimed to be the WoW killer. Turns out the WoW killer was Blizzard in the end. But now you need your hardcore MMO fix. Where do you go? There's almost limitless options. In the end, however, I settled with Final Fantasy XIV Online. This is an MMO game I hear nothing but positive things about. Apparently it's got deep class and character customization, an immense and addicting grind, massive open worlds to explore, a deep storyline to get invested in, and just hundreds upon hundreds of hours of content. Based on all the research I've done, I believe that Final Fantasy XIV Online is the best possible candidate for replacing World of Warcraft for those looking for that hardcore MMO experience. Keep in mind, however, I am no expert when it comes to MMOs. I'm not very fond of the classical MMOs. The combat gameplay in these games is a big turnoff for me. But based on all the information available online, I still confidently believe that Final Fantasy XIV should be your prime candidate for your WoW substitute. And there we have it! There are the top 5, but really it's top 8, games that you can be playing instead of Blizzard games. Let us not mourn Blizzard. Let us move on to them and help support other video games and their developers putting out quality content while supporting and respecting their communities. Now I ask all of you, dear viewers, do you have any recommendations for replacements or substitutes for Blizzard games while participating in the Blizzard boycott? Please share in the comment section down below, and everyone, please do remember the actual cause behind this whole controversy and drama. Supporting the good people of Hong Kong in their fight for freedom. If you can in any way show your support, give your support to the protesters. Campaigning for their basic human rights, I implore you, aid them in any way you can. Now please be sure to hit the like button on this video if you liked it in any way, shape, or form. Hitting the like button helps you, helps me, helps everybody involved in the video. If you hit the like button, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. I love reading comments, getting enough comments, please leave a comment. If you want to help out and support this video, then please share it on social media, Twitter and Facebook. And if you want to help out and support me directly, well, there's always Patreon. Anyways, guys, that's been a video, and I'll see you all later. Liberate Hong Kong! Revolution of our times.